Oh, hi, I'm Erica Wides, and this is Funny People Making Food.
Funny People Making Food.
Toast is clear. We're good. So today's guest is Emmy Blotnick. I don't really know her, but I hear she's pretty funny. I mean, she writes for the President's Show. She was just on Colbert. And, you know, like me, she's one of the tribe, so we're covered. She did say she wants to make Indian food, though, so we got to do a little shopping before we go over there. I don't know if she's like a vegan or what, so I'm covering all my bases. I'll pick one of these, too. All right, let's go.
Hi. Thanks for coming.
Well, we invited ourselves. All right, well, Emmy Blotnick.
Hi.
Hi, thanks so much for being our guest on Funny People Making Food. I forgot what I was going to say.
Looks like we're gonna cook something?
Yeah. Previous guests have been people who I've known from my past or I have some sort of relationship with you, but I don't know you at all. We just met, really. And the reason we're having you on the show is because basically we did a Google search for funny women, and it was like Joan Rivers and then you.
Man, I'm very happy about those Google results.
Right? That's pretty good.
Tell my tech team congratulations.
Yeah. So when we were talking about like what you wanted to learn how to make or what you like to cook or you don't like to cook, you brought up Indian food.
Yeah, I didn't know how to cook Indian, or I still don't know how to cook Indian food because every recipe, it always looks like they need like 45 different spices.
Yeah.
And I just get intimidated and then I don't do it. This looks
the
like a very reasonable amount of spices.
Doable, right? Our mise en place. So what we're gonna make today is chana saag.
And Chana is chickpeas, saag is spinach. Great,
Yes.
great.
But what's hilarious is what you told me is that your boyfriend is a chef and restaurateur.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just not he cooks at home, but not a ton. So we have like a knife. We have a knife, and I'll just rip stuff with my hands.
So you do have this one sort of, smallish chef's knife. That's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then of course you have a steak knife.
That's what every chef wants.
We could use a steak knife.
A
That's
nice,
okay.
dull IKEA steak knife.
Is it really? Yep. Okay, so what we have to do, of course, is cut up onions, ginger, garlic, because in Indian cooking, that's like your foundation, your holy trinity, your onions, ginger, garlic. In more European cooking, it's like carrot, celery, onions. Your mirepoix. You ever hear that term?
Yes.
Mirepoix. Yeah.
And I guess in Jewish cooking, it's just straight onions.
And chicken fat.
Onions, chicken fat, pickles.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
And
Suffering.
suffering, misery.
Yes.
6,000? What are we up to? 6,000 years?
Sounds right.
Right?
Oh, I'm not a good Jew.
So the most important thing with your onion is to keep your roots on.
Right.
This is the root.
That keeps the whole onion from
Keeps
falling
the whole
apart.
onion- right, and then so you cut off your stem end like that, right? And then we cut in half through the roots, like that. You see with this, I'm sort of pulling the knife down and through.
Yeah.
And then we turn, and here you go, lefty.
Thank you. Oh yeah, gliding. Just
Kind
gliding.
of pull it toward you.
I'm not so good.
You're
at
okay, and you don't
this.
have to do the whole thing. It shows your attention to detail.
Yes,
See,
that's the show, folks.
right? Take that, Stephen Colbert. On the steak knife. Okay, now we also have to do garlic.
Great. My mom used to. I feel like the way she taught me was to put the clove down and whack the knife over it. Is that it?
Yeah, your mom ruined my whole scene.
Oh man, no! I just assumed that wasn't it because it crushes the garlic.
Well, that's what we want.
Oh, great.
What's your mom's
Way
name?
to go, Mom. Judy.
That's my sister's name, but she's Judith. Thanks, Judy.
Yeah, she's good. She's very good.
She ruined my show. Judy. You know how, but they might not know how.
Yeah.
See that little indented bit?
Yes.
You want to cut that off first.
See, I haven't been doing that.
Judy.
You do learn stuff on this show.
You could teach that old dog new tricks.
See, she does more of a Hulkamania,
She just
full
bashes
smash.
it
Yeah.
and then picks the skin out.
Exactly.
Okay, so
we're
she's an
doing-
amateur.
This is, You get a little rage out of your system.
Well, exactly. Like this, I feel like is like the best technique for New Yorkers.
Yeah,
We're
yes.
full of rage.
It's true. That's why, you got to stomp when you walk and, scream where you can. That's the motto.
So now we just want to mince it up a little bit. So we have our onions and we have our garlic, and then we have to do our ginger. We're gonna take a chunk of ginger like that. This is excellent. It's more rage remedy. Same idea.
Yes.
You just
show that ginger who's boss. Yeah, see, the grunt does help.
louder.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Do you feel like you've worked through some things now?
Yeah, this has been like therapy.
Yeah, but so much cheaper.
True.
And with food at the end. I used to go to this therapist, and in the waiting area where you could have coffee and tea and stuff, and there were always cookies, but they were always like really shitty cookies, like those sandwich Vienna fingers.
Yeah.
Do you like those?
I do, but I'm not picky about cookies.
They would have those, and to me that's
Like not. I see how you could think it wasn't worth it.
yeah.
As far as cookies
And
go.
also, like, my mom used to do this weird thing, because like I was a little fat kid, so she was like, I'm gonna buy the cookies you don't like so that you don't eat them.
Right. So it's still. Oh, this is Jewish mother gymnastics. It's like, I'm buying you cookies, but they're not the ones you like.
You don't like them.
Those are the ones you deserve.
And you're gonna eat them anyway out of spite.
That's what you want to teach your kid, is to associate
healthy.
self-loathing with indulging, so that you never enjoy anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With jalapenos, you kind of never know what you're getting.
In terms of spiciness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like men. You never know what you're gonna get.
Men are like peppers.
You never know what you're gonna get until you cut them open and take out their seeds.
Has anybody like bled out on this show yet?
Not yet. We're working on it.
The sight of blood sometimes gets me
Oh.
queasy feeling. But anyway.
Are you a fainter?
I am a fainter.
Are you a vageler?
Yes.
Me too.
Holy shit. Oh man, it's so hard to explain that to people too. Like that you can make yourself faint basically just with your imagination.
Just thinking about gore. It's called the vasovagal reaction.
I can't. It's so. What a relief to not have to explain this.
I think it's a Jewish. It must be genetic. So what it means is, like, everyone has their fight or flight reaction, right? So under times of duress or stress or pain or whatever, most people, they start pumping adrenaline and it kind of keeps you going. But if you have what we have, it means basically this nerve, the vagus nerve, clamps down and shuts off the blood supply to your brain.
Yeah.
And so instead of flight, you just collapse, you faint. You basically just check out.
And I've discovered that when I faint, I let out sort of a deep moo. That's kind of like after I go unconscious, it's like, and it's like, it's to signal to people around me that I'm in trouble. But I think it kind of drives people away. I wish it was a more welcoming sort of, like free pizza or something like that. I'm a repellent fainter.
When did you figure out that you were vageler?
I think I was in probably like 4th or 5th grade, and it was in sex ed class, and they showed us a video of a baby being born where the camera was mounted like between the mother's knees, and it was just so goopy, and I was out. I fell off a stool, and when I came to, there was a guy I had a crush on, and when I opened my eyes, he was over me to see if I was okay, and I called him Dad, and it just...
That's great.
And, it didn't work out, but...
No. My husband had this like crazy GI distress thing in the middle, at like 4 o'clock in the morning. It looked like a horror movie in our bathroom.
Oh boy.
And he woke me up and he's like, I need help. We have to go to the hospital. Like he was like in really bad shape. And I went into the bathroom and saw what he had been experiencing. And
like, did you kill someone?
And he's like dying on the floor at 4 in the morning, and I fucking faint on the bathroom floor because I like took one look at what happened to him and I was like, I'm out.
That is, I think I would do the exact same thing.
And he's like, what about me? I have to go to the hospital. I'm like, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
So let's turn on your stove. Is it this one?
Yes, you got it.
Good. All right, so you have this beautiful 12-inch cast iron pan.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. We had talked about oil, but we're gonna use butter.
That's great.
I took the butter from your fridge. I hope that's
That's
okay.
totally
Carry
fine.
Gold, really nice butter.
Yeah.
If I keep mentioning all these name brands, hopefully one of them will be like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
here's some money for your show.
Right on.
Carry Gold butter. The choice of professionals.
All of this can be yours, Carry Gold.
So this is frozen chopped spinach. Once you squeeze this out, then you can put that in a little plastic bottle and sell it to like some skinny bitch on the Upper East Side outside of Soul Cycle.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
Would anybody like to do shots? Taste like a lawnmower bag.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna turn that up and we're gonna grab the aromatics. That's what it's called, aromatics. Dump them in. In you go. And also, you know, your spices, like you should replace them regularly. Like they shouldn't get really, really old.
This is news to me.
So now we have to add our spices. So we're gonna add 2 teaspoons each. So it's 2 coriander, 2 cumin, 2 turmeric. Yeah.
Now, speaking of things you can sell to women on the Upper East Side.
Yeah. And they can be sort of heaping, it's okay. We like a lot of flavor. That smells great.
It does.
So mix that butter in a little because we don't want our spices to burn. And then we're going to add a little bit of, this is paprika. Smell that.
Yeah.
I love that. Cody, you want to smell? Here, smell that. You guys want to smell? So anyway, here, and we go with that. So we'll use a little bit less of that. Okay, and then we're gonna add some salt. This is a teeny bit of ground clove. Cloves are pretty potent, so we don't use a lot. And I also threw a whole cinnamon stick in there.
Beautiful.
Get those spices nice and toasty. And then we're gonna throw in our jalapenos, beautifully diced jalapenos. And then we're gonna add some tomato with some of the juices. So now there's water going in here, so that's gonna arrest the development of the spices. So this is where we have to decide that
we're good on spice.
They've been exploited enough. And you can tell because they start to smell cooked.
This is already so much more elaborate than anything I've made for myself.
But it's really easy, right? You can,
yes, it is doable.
Yeah, you just bash up some onions and garlic and that's it, you know? Squeeze your spinach, drink the juice.
Right on.
Now, dump in the spinach. I'm gonna crank this up because now we wanna start really cooking the water out of the spinach so it starts to taste good. And then we're gonna add these chickpeas. And then usually this gets some kind of cream or yogurt or something added to it. Are you okay with dairy?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Isn't that surprising? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Why is that surprising? I don't know.
I feel like Jews and dairy are not best friends.
So we're gonna finish this up with a little bit of cream. If you don't wanna add a lot, you do this and it becomes like a squeeze bottle.
Oh, lovely.
I bet your boyfriend knows that.
Yeah, he probably does.
It's a chefy thing. And you can add as much or as little as you like. That looks really good.
It does.
And we should make rice to go with it, but I forgot, so
That's okay.
we won't. No carbs.
Low carb.
All right, so you know what? That looks amazing. So here's what we have to do now is taste before you commit.
Ah.
I can commit.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are gonna like this.
I wouldn't kick it out of bed, as we used to say in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Good job, Emmy Blotnick.
This was all you.
No, it was all you. Well, yeah, it was all me, but you helped.
Thank you.
This came out really good. I have to say, like, so now we've adjourned to your tranquil meditation space.
Yes, that's what we call it, an unfurnished corner of the apartment.
No, it's your meditation room.
It is a meditation space.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll go with that.
So this is what we made,
it's beautiful.
right? I know.
It looks delicious.
It looks so good.
Ah, now that it's sort of chilled
I
out
am.
a little. Well, I am. Yeah.
This is an exceptionally good version.
How come?
You were very generous in measuring the spices, and I think maybe I'll tweak the recipe
Cool.
by 25-30%.
That's amazing.
The Emmy Blotnick version.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Your spicy self. So as you know, the nugget, the core of this show is to talk to funny women about how their food life influenced their comedy, influenced or informed their comedy.
I think your example with the Vienna fingers cookies before is exactly that's exactly
My
the type
mother.
of stuff that like got in my head as a kid, where it'd be like, you can't have the good cookies, you can have the bad cookies, and you can feel bad about having them while you have them. In Jewish families, there's a lot of like self-deprivation and like denying of things you want, and like, no, I couldn't possibly, it's not okay for me to, you know, you have to make some effort to let yourself have things. My mom is a first-generation immigrant. There was plenty of like, oh my God, the war still in our family. So it just took a long time for me to get good at like knowing when and how to indulge.
There was no example really
Exactly.
set of like, this is a healthy way to indulge.
Right.
You know, both my parents worked and I was alone in the house a lot and I was like this very sort of sad, lonely, fat kid.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not saying you were. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'm with you
know,
on this. Yes.
Yeah.
It's where like you sort of like develop your own rules because there's nothing else.
There aren't any.
Yeah. It's been enlightening dating a chef because he is like writing a lot of my weird habits. So I have to do them when he's not around.
Oh, yeah, when he's not, you sort of hide and go back to your weird stuff.
There's a lot of hiding, I feel like, with, I guess that's, Jews are good at hiding. We were talking about how similar it is to be a chef and to be a comedian.
Right.
Because you're making something, you like build up this expertise in an area and then make something and serve it to people who don't have that expertise. And then they go like, this sucks. And you're like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's like you spend years and years and years honing this craft. But then it's a craft that you can't just keep to yourself. It's like you have to put it out there. It's like you're taking it and selling it. You know? It's like you're not just putting it up on Etsy. You know, I'm not just like selling comedy wrapped in, raffia.
They're both really strange lines of work to be in.
Yeah, like you have hecklers and we have Yelpers.
Yes, oh my God, Yelp people. I don't envy you. I think Yelp people are, I don't want to say monsters, but...
Well, they are.
But he's teaching me to have higher standards about food, which is really nice.
As opposed to like growing up when it was just like, eat lettuce, not Twinkies.
Right.
You know, now
right.
it's like, well, eat the good organic, locally grown lettuce.
Yes.
Not the like crappy iceberg from the supermarket lettuce. I mean, cattle are the worst, like beef cattle. Not only is it like corn and soybeans and feathers, it's also like expired candy.
Oh my.
Yeah, like boxcars full of like stale marshmallow Peeps.
Oh my goodness. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
They should bring those trucks over here. I love stale Peeps.
Peeps are only good when they get stale. Then they're
You
kind of
gotta
crusty.
rip them open, let them sit for a while.
Yeah, it's like an aging process, like cheese.
Yes.
Or like dry aged beef, or like prosciutto.
When I'm rich, I'm gonna have a Peeps cave.
A Peeps
where I let
aging
them-
room.
I let them stiffen.
Yes, to perfection.
Yeah.
And then you'll slice them thin, like Peeps Carpaccio.
What foods feel like safe and good to you?
I mean, everything has issues, So I'd think like, oh, well, maybe like greens, like good, organic, like Swiss chard or something, which I love. But then I'm like, oh, but where's it grown? Is it coming from Mexico or from California? Who's growing it? Maybe the people growing it are being exploited. Yeah. Maybe that area is running out of water because they use too much water to grow it. Who are the people picking it? Who's processing it? Oh, and then it's put on a truck and it's driven 2,000 miles, and that's a huge carbon footprint.
By those standards, then like nothing is good. Yeah,
There's
you have to just like eat your own hair in the dark.
Yeah. Maybe we should do some yoga.
That sounds good.
To just kind of.
You could show me the good kind, because mine is just sitting.
Yeah, let's go back in for more. It's pretty good.
Before you stretch.
Before we, we're gonna do some yoga and then watch out. Hope this carpet's cleanable.
I guess child's pose is sort of designed for